Thanks once again for dropping by the channel. If you like the content, if you're new to the channel, please hit subscribe, share the video if you enjoyed, if you feel it was useful. Now let's get into this. So yesterday night / this morning, I made the video of Joseph Parker and Tyson Fury being in camp together. Now we know they were in camp together because obviously Joseph Parker, uploaded some pictures, thanks to the rounds, etc, etc. So I asked the question, were they sparring? And I would say they probably were, but the question I was asking was, what benefit would it be to Tyson Fury sparring Joseph Parker? Because from a stylistic point of view, even from a physical point of view, he's absolutely nothing like Deontay Wilder. So in my own head, I'm kind of thinking, right, well, maybe Parker wasn't necessarily brought in for Team Fury. Maybe they were actually using Team Fury to help prepare, because as we know, Parker is set to fight on the Matchroom show on February 29th, the week after Fury Wilder, and as of yet, there's no opponent been announced. So I kind of came to my own conclusion that maybe Parker's fighting someone tall, rangy, and maybe, Tyson Fury would be, great sparring because a great fighter, tall, rangy. And a subscriber left a comment in the comment section saying that Joseph Parker is fighting Mariusz Wach. Okay, now we obviously haven't heard anything about that, but I decided, okay, I'll look into that. And lo and behold, there's a couple of articles on that, and I'm on a website here called i.stuff.co.nz, so I think it's a New Zealand website, safe to assume it is anyway. And it says, Joseph Parker's manager can't rule Mariusz Wach in or out of Texas bout. So it says here, I'm just going to read it here. It says, Joseph Parker is yet to have an opponent confirmed for his fight in February in Texas, despite former world title challenger Mariusz Wach, 35-6, claiming it'll be him. Wach has appeared on Polish TV to claim that he will fight Parker on the undercard of Mikey Garcia's welterweight clash with Jesse Vargas at the Ford Center in Texas on February 29th. It has been widely known for some time that Parker will make his first appearance in 2020 on this Matchroom boxing show, and the Polish veteran claims he's agreed terms to fight the Kiwi next month despite the contract not being finalised. This is what Mariusz Wach has told TVP Sport. It says, I said yes, and we're waiting on documents to be signed. I will sign and send it back. I want to hurt him. Alright, talk from Mariusz Wach here. It says here, but Parker's manager David Higgins has told Stuff, that's the name of it, Stuff. Wach is getting ahead of himself with the situation. Still fluid, however. He confirmed Wach is an option. There are 4 names in the mix, and he's one of them, is what Higgins told Stuff. Great name for a website, Stuff. Wach is by no means confirmed at this point. It would be wrong to assume Wach is, but it would be wrong to assume he isn't, is what Higgins said. He is chasing the other 3 opponents close to his chest, but confirmed one of the opponents is intimidated. Is that what he said? Intimidated? Yeah. And it could come, he's just going kind of saying, what here. So basically that's what Dave Higgins had to say on Joseph Parker potentially fighting Mariusz Wach. You'll definitely get rounds here at Mariusz Wach, I think it's fair to say. I think if they're trying to work towards a Dylan White rematch, potentially you could use this and just say, well, Parker done this against the same opponent as Dylan White fought. Obviously different situation, of course, that Mariusz Wach came to fight, he did, and he gave a good account of himself, and obviously Dylan White was way out of shape, took a fight on very short notice, and it's a close fight. A few people have said that it was closer than the score. It was a close fight. That was definitely the best Mariusz Wach I've seen in a while. It's a far cry from the Mariusz Wach who was getting beat by Artis Bilk and was getting stopped by Martin Bakole. So Mariusz Wach, maybe that will light a fire in him. Maybe he'll come to fight. We know Mariusz Wach, fantastic chin, piss poor defense, slow as anything. He really is. He's like some dizzy Instagram girl. He is just that slow in every sense of the imagination. So that's how slow Mariusz Wach is, And yeah, he'll definitely give Parker the rounds. It'd be interesting to see, because I think Mariusz Wach could be a good opponent, because we can see how Parker is in terms of, aggression. Because Mariusz Wach, he's been stopped, he's never been down. I wouldn't imagine Parker would be going to drop him necessarily. But if Parker really does step on the gas, might be able to force a stop, which would be nice to see if he has that kind of nit and grit and the will to just go and just make a fight. If it just go in and just put it on Mariusz Wach and see what happens, At the end of the day, Mariusz Wach, as I said, he's been stopped a couple of times, but he's never been down. And it'd be interesting to see, could Parker really, take the bull by the scruff of the neck and, try and force a stoppage? I doubt that Parker could drop him, and I don't mean that in a bad sense, but like, you're talking about a man who took flush right hands from Vladimir Klitschko, flush, the same right hands that nearly had Anthony Joshua knocked out cold. Mariusz Wach took them like they were nothing. So I'd imagine if Klitschko can't put him down, I seriously doubt Parker can. But I definitely think if Parker really steps on the gas, he can force a stoppage. So be interesting to see. I wouldn't mind seeing it. I think that given the fact that Parker was sparring Fury, because I'm just going to assume he was, he's sparring tall, he's obviously assuming that probably his next opponent is going to be a very tall opponent. So when you're hearing him mention other names, what kind of other names are you thinking of? I can't imagine they're going to be great if the level opposition we're talking about is a Mariusz Wach. So you could imagine maybe someone like Johan Dupa, Bogdan Dinu, someone like that, kind of these gatekeeper heavyweights. More so likely is what we're going to see from Parker. But I just think it's an interesting one. So those are my thoughts on this. Let me know what you think down below. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe of course if you are new, and as always, I will talk to you after.